Mr. Smith, I would like to start with you. Reading through both your written testimony and the comments that you've provided here this morning, you've outlined the steps that DOE has taken that really get us to a point where there is less time between the approvals. I appreciate what you have done with the realignment. Your testimony states that this legislation is, quote, not necessary. Now, this is not saying that you don't support the legislation. I certainly understand that. You have, again, under your leadership and with Secretary Moniz, you've issued several final authorizations. And again, I appreciate the comments and the direction that you're taking. But I think we here in Congress need to be thinking long-term. Secretary Moniz has made very clear that he wants to work through this process, but I worry that perhaps a future Secretary of Energy might not be as favorable to LNG exports as we have seen coming out of this Secretary and the administration. So the question that I would ask you very directly is whether or not you think S-33, as it is written, is workable and achievable.
Well, thank you, Madam Chair, for the question. First of all, we understand the intent and the interest of this legislation, and in fact, as I listened to many of the comments that have been made here in opening statements, we share many of these drives, many of these core values of transparency, efficiency, of making prudent public interest determinations. So I think we have a lot in common in terms of what we want to accomplish, and we understand the intent of the legislation. In fact, the changes that the Department has made to our internal process have been along exactly those same lines to make sure that we're making good, solid public interest decisions that withstand scrutiny. So we think we are currently moving in that direction, and we're using the current statute in a way that protects the public interest. That said, your direct question about the workability of the legislation that's being proposed, certainly if this legislation is passed as is currently written, the Department will be able to accomplish the mission. We will, as always, accomplish the letter and spirit of the law, and we believe this is a solution that we will be able to comply with.
Well, I appreciate that. So what you're telling me is you can do it, you have been doing it, 45 days is workable.
Yes, Senator. Again, if this is the legislation that's passed in its current form, that we can comply with the regulation.
I appreciate that.